Alright, today we are going to work on multiplying a whole number by a fraction and a mixed number. I think we've got to clarify what a mixed number is, so we will get to that and I will clarify that. Let's quick do a small review of yesterday. So this is like I had 90 miles to go and I did 2/3 of the 90 miles on the first day. I want to know how far I went and how much more I have to do. So if we're going to use this bar to help us, we went 90 miles. This bar is worth 90 miles. And I went 2/3 of the way. And way back to before, we are going to ask ourselves, how many threes are in 90? So I know that there are 30 of them. So I'm going to break this into, first I have to break it into how many equal parts? The 3. And if I know there's 30 in each, does that mean I went 30 miles when I went 2/3? Well, we forgot the next step. We got to look at our numerator and how many of those thirds did I go? I went 2 of them, so I have to add those together, and I went 60 of the 90. That was just a quick review. Now we have here, this is called a mixed number, and I don't know if we remember that from before. A mixed number is when you have a whole number and a fraction together. Now there are a couple ways to multiply a mixed number with a fraction to another whole number, but we're going to take what we already know from before of multiplying, and we have to do this with this plus this with this, so it's kind of 2 steps. So let's just look at this, and if I did just a square, I have really went 1 times 16 is what? It is 16. So I went the whole 16 miles the first, and then I did a half more. So on this part, I've got to make it, if I put 1/2 over here, and I put my 16 here because that's how many I went total. So this one I went the whole 16, so I've got this. Now if I look at this, I'm going to have how many parts? 2. And 2 goes into 16 how many times? Well, each part is worth 8. And if I went one of these eighths, one of the halves, now I went and I have to add these two together, and my answer is 24. So when I look at that, that's a reasonable answer, because if I win a whole one plus a half more, my answer is going to be more than what I'm multiplying it by. So let's look at this one. Now we're back to the other way, and I'm just going to quick draw a rectangle. I put 32 up here, and I say to myself, ooh, 5/8. So I'm going to break this into 8 equal parts. And, 8 goes into 32 how many times? Or 8 times what equals 32? 4. And I need 5 of these. So when I put them all together, I get 20. Talk with your partner, see if you can see this. If you can see an easier way of multiplying fractions. And then please do pages 74, 75 for good practice. And 76 I would like you to do on your own as homework, because that's something that's a review from these 2 days together.